What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video. And yeah, today's been a long day. I started my 6-day work week as a truck driver this week, and I'm learning a lot. I'm pushing myself to a new challenge, and actually getting real truck driving hours. So yep, I'm gonna hopefully get anywhere from over 60 or a little bit under or a little bit over. I'll let you guys know, but people have stopped paying their bills, and I know times are hard. I even have family members that are trying to figure it out. Jobs are just not how it used to be, where you see a hiring sign, and my cousin and I we were talking about it. They say that they're hiring, but the position is never filled. I know that, like, there's this one location here in my state, and we're hiring for the longest time. And I'm like, okay, unless people are just quitting all the time, or what's going on. So but one thing that I've noticed, and I went through this time period in my life, and it's strange because it wasn't in a time period where times were hard. I mean, you could put in an application, get the job the next day. So to see that people are they're not paying their electric bill, they're not paying their water bill, they're not even buying food, the usual food that they buy, is kind of crazy, honestly. And as a truck driver, you get to see the amount, and I deliver food, right? I deliver meat paws to some outlets of the same company, and the amount of food that's being ordered has diminished and diminished. And you can see it on the bill of lading. You see how many pounds it was last year, because I keep all mine for a full year. You can see what it was last year compared to now, and it's like, dang, it's getting bad. It's getting really bad. I even seen that the prices on just like going out to, I think, where did I go? Went to this one place. The food was like $12. Fast food, $12. It wasn't really like fast food. It was like kind of your mid-level kind of food. It's insane. Just the amount. Like, I go to get these organic eggs. It went from like $4 for 12 to like $10 for 12. So you're paying just a little bit above, I believe, no, $10 for 12. So you're paying a little bit below a dollar. And it's insane. It's tough. I used to be a leasing agent in the past, and I look at these apartments that I used to get, like, lease out to people, and the amount, it used to be $700 for maybe one of our low-end 2-bedroom 2 baths, anywhere from that to maybe even $600 for the 1-bedroom, $750 for the 2 bedrooms, on up to maybe $900. And then if you wanted a 3-bedroom, you're looking around $1,100-$1,200, and that's in my state here in the Midwest. And to see that, if you want to live in a decent neighborhood and you want all the commodities that should be given within a lease agreement, you're gonna pay anywhere from $1,500 to over $2,000 in the Midwest. Now, some spots here aren't that bad. It's kind of like, okay, but you're not gonna get into the good school districts. You're not gonna have a good start. So it's getting to the point where it's just like, wow. Even if you wanted to live a completely mediocre life, it's kind of getting outrageous. Now, like, for me, I do understand, and I hated when people brought this up, car payment. Car payment is not necessary. It is not necessary. If you really wanted to get ahead, you would have enough not only for the car payment that you're paying now, but you're also stashing away money for a future car that's going to cost you, on average, for a low end, 50 grand in about 5 to 10 years. So a lot of us are paying something that is not even necessary. And it's kind of sad. I do have to say, I don't need to have this car nor this car payment, but I chose it. And you have people turning in their cars saying, I cannot afford this BMW. And the reason why I didn't get a BMW is because I had a woman I was dating. She had a BMW. It had so many problems. Granted, she didn't do maintenance on it, but when we went into a shop, they told me how much it cost for an older model of a BMW. I said, yeah, see, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying that. I'm not going to be doing that. And then when I had my car, which was an old Mazda at the time, at a Mazda, I could go and change out my brakes for a little bit, about $200. Even less if I do it myself or with my dad. So the problem is that a lot of people in this period in time are kind of being a little ridiculous. Combined with inflation is crazy. Food, that's crazy. Shelter, that's crazy. But you, and I had a conversation with this lady. I understand, you gotta, let me tell you something. She told me that she has an older SUV, and then they have another car. They're making two car payments. Now, my brother has one car, and he has his fiance, and both of them, he and her, they use one car. But I see that people want to be independent. They don't want to work as a team, or maybe their hours don't line up, and they want to have two car payments, and they're married or they're in a relationship, and they didn't even come into the relationship that way. So it is becoming a little bit of a problem that people are overspending. And that's why we don't have interest rate cuts, because people are still spending, and the people that are succeeding, they're winning. Like, I see the stock market, and I'm like, it's breaking records. While we look at inflation, it's like, wow, this is breaking records over here too. So really, when it comes down to it, are you truly living the life that you need? Are you buying, like, people are buying houses not knowing how much work you have to put into it. You have to cut the grass. If you got an HOA, oh my God, good luck. But you have to cut the grass. You have to clean the gutters. Let's just say the roof. Does that fall under the insurance policy, the house insurance policy? If it doesn't, you got to buy a new roof. Are the windows good? Do you have good enough? If you live in a state where it's cold, do you have a good enough insulation in that house? When was the house built? So all of these things layer up. So when people stop paying their bills, it's because they're like, you know what? They set themselves up at this level, and then boom, they lost their job. It's hard to find a job. This is where it all culminates. It's hard to find a new job in the same sector that you were getting paid for, because you have individuals that are willing to do anything at this time point. You have migrants. Hate to bring it up once again, but you have migrants. You also have the fact that you are overspending on things that you don't need. Starbucks. You could be making coffee at home by yourself. Let's be honest. You can make coffee. It's not that fantastic, but I be making, my coconut coffee. I love it ever since I've been at Puerto Rico. Taking extravagant vacations when you know that you're putting it on credit. You're allowing your credit cards to have 22% interest month after month or year after year, and gaining up on that instead of killing that debt. You don't want to move in with your parents because you want to be independent. And the reality is like, it's time to really face the facts. It ain't time to be out here having fun. As a truck driver, it is a strong indicator that our economy isn't the same that it was a year ago or a year before that. it is on a downturn. Now, how long of a downturn? It could be 10 years, could be 5, could be 2. But in that happenstance, it is time to buckle down and not play games. But people want to move and they want to have fun. They want to live life like it's on a nice up and down flow. No, this is number one, a presidential election year, right? On top of that, it could be distracting because you've got all these people that got on their YouTube feed, president, this is who you should vote for, or we got what's it called, Project 2025. You have Biden is sleepy, you have Trump is felon. So you have all these things distracting you. But the main question is what are you doing in your own individual life? Because the reason why we have this problem, and let me tell you something, this is going to blow your mind. During the mask era, when we had to put on a mask, right? Everybody was fighting for toilet paper, right? There was a whole bunch of news outlets talking about it. You know what I was doing? I was getting the flushable wipes. You know why? Number one, they're pretty nice. I like them. They're flushable and they're wipes, and they really get it clean. And number two, back in the past, people used to use water in a leaf or something, right? They didn't go here and get Charmin. They didn't have the bear with the sticky, icky tissue paper on their butt, right? So I was sitting there like, oh, okay. There's a whole entire stockpile of wet wipes, flushable wipes. I'm going to use those. And I didn't have a problem. I didn't really care about it. I was like, oh, okay, so I found a solution in a problem. Now, is that going to work out every time? Probably not. Sometimes you're cornered. But I really like the book that I'm reading, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And what it says in there is that there was a person, I can't really say it, but they were in a camp. And this camp was known for putting people in a shower and they would die in that shower. And it's sad. But there was an individual that took his situation and controlled everything he could control. He became an inspiration to those that saw doom and gloom. And sometimes in the face of death, you might face it. But it is your option to turn what you thought as this is a deterrent from my goal. Well, maybe it's taking you to something that you didn't even see before. I had many goals, and some of them I made, some of them I didn't. And the reality is that even though some of them I made and some of them I didn't, I saw a lot in between that. And so, again, I'm not the person that's going to uplift you and tell you, but there is a lot of things that are going under the radar that you did not know that you're spending money on. And one of those things, if you get a money tracker, you'll be like, holy, I spent that much money in Amazon and Temu and all of these different companies that don't invest in me. See, there was this one stock, I was talking to my cousin again. There was this one stock that sold electric vehicles. Well, each share was $1. Those that are into stocks, you'll understand. Each share was $1. I bought it. It went down. I was like, dang. Oh. So I took out my money. Fast forward 2 weeks later, it went up to $16 a share. Its volatility literally burst out of the dang gunning ceiling. And due to the fact that I was so much in a rush to make money that day, I did not see the future. And sometimes you're going to have a loss. You know, Jeff Bezos was at one point, before the dot-com bubble burst, he was the top dog. And then he lost. He went from like a huge billionaire to like a 1.2 billionaire. Now he's worth like, I don't know, $200 billion. Sometimes if you look at the small picture, you'll lose it. Elon Musk was on the risk of bankruptcy. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to get a loan. I'm going to reinvest into his company. Had he not done that, he would never be in this. He would never create SpaceX. He would never create a flamethrower. He might never create the Cybertruck. I like the Cybertruck. I can't afford it, but I like it. It's pretty cool. I see, I don't know why people hate on things. They're like, oh, that's an ugly thing. Bro, we seen so many dang gunning Back to the Future movies. We seen all these little future. He brought these things. He's willing to have fun. And if he fails, at least he had fun at it. He tried. Sometimes close to failure, doing something that we thought might fail or might succeed, is actually a blessing in disguise. Not every time, but sometimes it is. So even though we stop paying our bills, you still need to get on your stuff, because the moment that it's an upswing, you have a battle to recollect everything that you lost because you decided to throw in the towel. So, yes, it's hard. And yes, you might not see that there's opportunities out there, but there is. You know, you could do jobs that you don't want to do. Clean a toilet. Shoot, I'd do it anyway. Because I got to go to these truck stops. I got me my sanitizing wipes. I got my spray. I make sure that bathroom is clean. So I might as well be a janitor. Oh, I don't want to touch pee. I don't want to touch poop. Well, sometimes if that's all you got to do, that's all you got to do. Work your way up. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I will catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.